There comes a moment in every person's life when they look in the mirror and ask, why can't I have what I truly want? The truth is, you can. You were never born to live small, to settle, or to survive. You were born to create, to expand, to dominate your dreams. But the difference between those who wish and those who achieve is one thing: control over your own direction. Today, we're not talking about luck. We're not talking about chance. We're talking about power. The power to get whatever you want. Everything you want in life begins in the mind. The house you dream of, the business you want to build, the body you want to sculpt, the relationships you want to experience. It all starts as a thought, a spark, an idea. Most people never get what they want because they underestimate this truth. They think the external world controls their destiny, their boss, their upbringing, the economy, their past. But the reality is those things only have the power you give them. The real power is within you. The mind is the architect of everything you see, and until you learn to master it, you'll always be reacting instead of creating. The mind is not your enemy, but it is a wild force. If you don't direct it, it will direct you. You've probably noticed how one negative thought can spiral into a bad day. One fear can lead to hesitation, which turns into regret. That's the mind running you instead of serving you. But when you take control, when you decide that your thoughts will serve your vision and not your fears, everything begins to change. You become the creator of your life instead of a spectator. You stop waiting for good things to happen, and you start making them happen. Think about it. Every great invention, every breakthrough, every success story started with someone who saw something in the mind before it. It existed in reality. They visualized it, they believed it, and they refused to let the world convince them otherwise. That's not luck, that's alignment. When your inner world becomes stronger than your outer world, nothing can stop you. The mind doesn't differentiate between what's real and what's vividly imagined. When you train it to believe in your vision, it will begin to find ways to make it happen. It will attract opportunities, people, and resources that align with what you believe. The problem is that most people feed their minds with fear, doubt, and limitation. They spend more time focusing on what could go wrong than what could go right. They replay old failures, toxic memories, and voices that told them they weren't enough. But the mind is like a garden. It grows whatever you plant. If you plant weeds, you'll get weeds. If you plant seeds of confidence, belief, and gratitude, you'll harvest success. You can't grow abundance from the soil of negativity. You must feed your mind daily with the right input. Books that inspire you, words that empower you, people who lift you, and thoughts that strengthen you. Every time you think about your goals, you're programming your subconscious mind. The subconscious is like a powerful engine. It doesn't question, it just runs the commands you give it. If you constantly say, I can't, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, your subconscious accepts that as truth and will filter your actions to match it. But if you replace those words with, I can, I'm growing, I will, your subconscious begins to shift its focus. Suddenly, you start noticing possibilities you ignored before. You begin to attract solutions instead of problems. It's not magic, it's the natural law of focus. You move toward what you consistently think about. Imagine walking through life with absolute certainty that you will achieve what you want. Not arrogant certainty. That quiet, unshakable belief that no matter what happens, you'll figure it out. That's the mindset of winners. They don't wait for proof to believe. They believe until proof appears. They understand that the world doesn't respond to hesitation. It responds to conviction. When your mind radiates conviction, the world starts rearranging itself to make things possible for you. You'll find doors opening, ideas flowing, and people showing up at just the right time. That's not coincidence. That's the result of a focused, empowered mind. But this isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about training your mind to stay centered in chaos, to find solutions in storms, and to hold faith when fear tries to take over. Every challenge you face is a test of your mental control. Do you let circumstances define you, or do you define them? When your mind is strong, no situation can break you. You might bend, but you won't shatter. You'll find a way through because your focus is not on the obstacle, it's on the outcome. You must decide today to become the master of your mental world. Every morning, set your intentions. Decide what you'll focus on. Decide what kind of energy you'll carry. Refuse to let the day control you. Control the day. The moment you realize that your thoughts are not random, but chosen, your power multiplies. You are no longer a victim of emotion or environment. You are the designer of your destiny. Remember, it's not about waiting for your dreams to show up. It's about thinking, believing, and acting as though they already exist. That's how reality bends. That's how you transform invisible desire into visible results. You can get whatever you want, but first, you must think like the person who already has it. The mind is the starting point, the foundation, the engine. When you master your inner world, the outer world will have no choice but to obey. Desire alone is never enough. You can want something with every cell in your body, but if you don't move, nothing happens. The world doesn't reward wishful thinking, it rewards action. You can dream about success, visualize abundance, and talk about goals all day, but until you take the first step, your dreams will stay locked in your imagination. The truth is simple. Action is the bridge between your vision and your reality. Without it, the greatest dreams die in silence. Every person who has achieved greatness started the same way, with uncertainty, fear, and doubt. But what separates those who win from those who wish is the willingness to act even when it's uncomfortable. Most people wait for perfect conditions before they start. They wait until they have more money, more time, more knowledge, more support. But perfect conditions don't exist. Waiting for the right time is the same as choosing not to move. The right time is when you decide. Action doesn't come after confidence. Confidence comes after action. You have to understand that every result you want already exists in potential. The moment you commit to it with consistent effort, you activate that potential. Success doesn't show up in one giant leap. It builds from small, repeated steps that compound over time. Each step you take sends a message to the universe that you are serious. Each decision to keep going creates momentum. And once momentum builds, it becomes almost unstoppable. It's like pushing a heavy wheel. At first, it feels impossible to move. But once it starts rolling, it gains speed and power that carries you forward almost effortlessly. But you can't build momentum if you keep starting and stopping. Consistency is the secret ingredient that transforms action into achievement. Doing something once will not change your life. Doing it daily will. You have to be willing to repeat the small disciplines long after the excitement fades. Success is not built in a single moment. It's built in the moments when nobody is watching. When nobody is cheering, when you feel tired, and you keep going anyway. The most powerful force in the world is persistence fueled by purpose. Clarity is also key. If you don't know what you want, how can you create it? Too many people wander through life with vague intentions. They say they want to be successful, but they can't define what that means. They say they want freedom, but have no plan for what that looks like. You cannot hit a target you can't see. The first step to powerful action is clarity, knowing exactly what you want and why you want it. When your why is strong enough, your how will appear. Action without clarity leads to burnout. Clarity without action leads to stagnation. The balance of both creates results. You have to know where you're going, but you must also be willing to move before the path is fully clear. It's like driving at night. You can only see a few meters ahead, but if you keep moving, the next few meters are revealed. That's how life works. You don't need to see the entire staircase, just the next step. The moment you take that first step, fear starts to lose its power. Fear feeds on inaction. The longer you wait, the stronger it grows. But when you act, even imperfectly, you take away its control. Action is the antidote to fear. Every time you move forward despite uncertainty, you build inner strength. You train your mind to trust you. That trust is priceless. It's the foundation of self-belief. Because when you've proven to yourself that you can take action, even when it's uncomfortable, nothing can hold you back. And yes, you will fail. You will stumble, fall, and make mistakes. But failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every setback carries a lesson. Every rejection refines your approach. Every struggle builds resilience. The people who achieve whatever they want in life are not the ones who never fail. They're the ones who never stop. They treat every obstacle as feedback. Every mistake is training, and every challenge is preparation for something greater. You must stop waiting for motivation to strike. Motivation is unreliable. It fades. Discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation is gone. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's setting your alarm early, sticking to your routine, showing up when no one's clapping. Discipline builds habits, and habits shape destiny. The small actions you repeat every day become the foundation of your future. So act. Act even when you're uncertain. Act even when you're afraid. Act even when no one believes in you. Because movement creates clarity, and clarity creates results. Every step you take shifts your energy from dreaming to doing. The world responds to those who move. Opportunities open up for the ones who dare to start. You don't need to have it all figured out. Just take the next step, then another, and another. Before you know it, you'll look back and realize that the impossible became possible simply because you kept moving forward. Your actions define you far more than your intentions ever will. You can have every reason to quit, but one reason to continue is enough, if it's rooted in belief. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. The moment you decide to move is the moment your future begins to change. Action is not just the path to success, it is success in motion. Keep moving, keep believing, and keep building, because everything you've ever wanted is waiting on the other side of consistent, unstoppable action. To get whatever you want in life, you must become the kind of person who deserves it. You can't attract greatness while thinking small. You can't build abundance while carrying scarcity in your heart. You can't receive love, success, or respect if you don't believe you're worthy of it. Life doesn't respond to what you wish for, it responds to who you are. The universe reflects your energy, your habits, your standards, and until you elevate those, nothing changes. Everything begins with alignment, your thoughts, emotions, and actions moving in the same direction as your goals. Most people fail because they're conflicted inside. They say they want success, but deep down they doubt themselves. They dream of wealth, but they hold beliefs that money is hard to make. They want love, but they carry pain from the past. When your internal world is misaligned, your results become inconsistent. You can't move forward while holding on to old limitations. You have to release what no longer serves you and step into a new identity, the identity of the person who already has what you want. Becoming that version of yourself means raising your standards. Stop tolerating mediocrity in your habits, your environment, and your mindset. Every time you settle for less, you teach your mind that it's acceptable. But the moment you raise your standards, your life begins to rise to meet them. Raise the standard for how you treat yourself. Raise the standard for what you expect from others. Raise the standard for how hard you're willing to work and how deeply you're willing to believe. Because nothing will ever improve until you decide that you deserve better and back that decision with consistent action. You must also understand that your identity shapes your destiny. You cannot outperform the image you hold of yourself. If you see yourself as limited, you'll behave in limited ways. If you see yourself as capable, strong, and deserving, your behavior will naturally align with that belief. That's why lasting success is not just about doing, it's about becoming. You can change your strategy, your plan, your environment, but if you don't change who you are at your core, your results will always fall back to match your self-image. The inner shift must happen before the outer results can appear. Start asking yourself powerful questions. Who do I need to become to have what I want? How would that person think, speak, act, and make decisions? How would they handle setbacks, opportunities, and challenges? The moment you begin to live from that identity, everything changes. You stop chasing your goals and start attracting them. You stop wishing for success and start embodying it. People can feel it. Confidence, conviction, and authenticity radiate from someone who knows who they are and where they're going. The truth is, you attract what you're ready for. If something hasn't arrived yet, it's not because it's impossible. It's because you're still preparing to receive it. Every challenge you face is not punishment. It's preparation. Life is training you, shaping you, and strengthening you for the next level. When you start seeing obstacles as growth instead of problems, you stop resisting them and start learning from them. You evolve, and as you evolve, what you desire begins to move closer to you. Your energy is your magnet. When you're filled with fear, frustration, and doubt, you repel what you want. When you operate from gratitude, confidence, and purpose, you become magnetic. That's why emotional mastery matters. You can't control everything that happens around you, but you can control what happens within you. You can choose to respond with calm when others panic, to act with faith when others doubt, to stay grateful when life gets hard. That's how you shift your frequency. The more aligned your energy is with your goals, the faster they manifest. It's also essential to surround yourself with the right environment. You can't grow in a place that keeps you small. If you spend your time around people who doubt your dreams, you'll start doubting yourself. But if you surround yourself with those who challenge you, inspire you, and expect more from you, your standards will rise naturally. Your environment should remind you of where you're going, not where you've been. Protect your energy like your life depends on it. Because it does. To truly get whatever you want, you must live with integrity. Integrity means alignment between what you think, say, and do. It means keeping promises to yourself, following through even when it's hard, and refusing to cut corners. When you live in alignment, you build unshakable confidence because you trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you stop seeking validation. You no longer need permission to move forward. You give it to yourself. The journey to getting what you want isn't about forcing outcomes. It's about aligning your inner world so strongly that success becomes the natural result of who you are. You don't have to chase, you attract. You don't have to prove, you embody. You don't have to wish, you decide. The moment your mindset, emotions, and actions all move in harmony with your vision, the world opens its doors. So start today. Step into the version of yourself who already has what you desire. Think like them, move like them, speak like them, act from that energy, and watch how reality starts to shift in your favor. The secret is not to fight for your dreams. It's to align yourself so powerfully with them that nothing can resist you. When who you are matches what you want, everything you've been chasing begins to chase you.